Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is FRC Formula Racing Championship 2012 season round 2 at Malaysia Sepang. Well, we have Aditya Bagus, the 2011 world champion on pole, and who is going to be battling him today? Probably it's going to be Santina Andrelli, who is starting second, but let's calm down a little bit as, yep, even the weather can tell us that the race is going to be exciting as there is a 47% rain probability today. So I'm not going to be lying that today is going to be the rainy race, of course. Ha 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 ha. No, 47%. Yep, that's pretty high probability, but for the qualifying session it was even higher. So we still don't know what to expect. And that's great because yep, probably we all love surprises, and even if it's not going to be raining, but at least we're going to see some action into the corner of death, as we call the turn 15 like that, as the final corner, with, as a lot of collisions happened there in 2011, in 2010, so that's why. But now we're going to be starting, and first of all, let's take a look at our starting grid. 42 laps of racing awaits, as on the front row we have the Rebel and the Lotus for the first time in its history. And for Santiandre, it's also going to be the start from the front row for the first time in his career as well. Moving on to the next row, we have Jake Tilsley from Red Bull and Daboj from McLaren. P5 is Daniel Fraser and P6 Vucci Carmin. P7 Adam Hidayat and P8 Max Smiler. P9 Berta Kissin and P10 Erkele Benhanebeso, who finished in 2011 here on the second position. Then we have Jafari Blackwood and Litmin Pasalic. Jafari was looking really good at Malaysia last season as well. P13 is Musa Karimov, sadly no Q3 for Williams, but they were still looking really good. And on P14 we have Samet Oskan with P15 Benji Rashton. P16 it's Miha, and P17 Niklas Johansson, the fastest driver among the eliminated ones from Q1. On P18 it's Fritz Holler, then we have two last are also on the starting grid, formed up by by K-Drum and by HRT. Andrew Paracels and Martinez on P19 and P20, and Holger Fernandez are going to be starting from P21 and P22. And now the most interesting is the rain going to be today or not. Are you ready? Well, that's pretty nervous, but still. 3, 2, 1. And it's raining. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be raining today in Malaysia. But anyways, let's begin the race. Well, looks like it is a bit wet here, but it's nothing more than just a wet track. So here we go. 4 lights, 5 lights. 42 laps of racing here as it is lights out, as Aditya Bagus has a really good start, but looks like the track is not really wet, so the drivers can be really fast at intermediates. Looks like JTC makes the mistake, Well, coming into turn 1, Santian Revely being side by side with Aditya Bagus, but he's unable to overtake him to turn 1, but he's going to do that into turn 2. Congratulations to Santian Revely, he takes the lead of the race, with JT Cecil on P3, P4 Abotion, P5 Armin, then Fraser, Hanebos, Asmitla, Karimov and Hidayat. What a fantastic start by the Uzbekistan driver, as two McLarens come into turn 3, as Bojic is still on P4. Not bad. Not bad at all. Meanwhile, Andrel is pulling away from Aditya Bagus, as the drivers are already about to complete the first sector of this fantastic circuit at Malaysia. And do we have any collisions? No, we don't. But we look at the Mercedes of Jafari Blackwood, and looks like we had one. And yeah, but it's a front wing broken for him, as well as a problem for another Mercedes of Berta Kieslin. Probably both of them just collided with each other, and Jacob Holliker almost loses it and spins around, but Parcels is up into P19, Holker up into P20, and here is the wet part of the track, which is basically Sector 3. Or Sector 2, sorry, I may be mistaken. Well, now it's getting really wet here, and the drivers are going to be much faster with these tires through the first half of the sector of Sector 3 and the end of Sector number 2. So that's it, Andrello, Bagos and Teasley, that's the top 3, but now let's take a look at the replay. What's happened to both Mercedes drivers at the start of the race. Blackwood was starting on P11, and he was starting on slicks, while Berta Kieslin was starting on P9 with intermediates, as any other driver, but actually let's take a look. Let's take a look. On 6 we had Adam Hidayat, on slicks we had Jafari Blackwood, with Musa Karimov, who had a brilliant start on this tire compound, as well as Fritz Holler and Rosetta Martinez with Fernando Tost. But now, to the incident itself. What's happened there? Between two Mercedes drivers, as they just collide into turn 2, and Benji Rushton had contact with Berta as well, but luckily no damage for him, so he got lucky there. But we had another collision at the back. Oh, it is Miha. Looks like he forgot about the braking point, and well, I would say it's 50-50, because Berta Kessin was moving under the braking as well, while Livnin Pasalic was trying to overtake the Mercedes driver, and that's why these drivers collided. And now looks like it started to rain in Sector 1 as well, while Fraser and Dabush having a fight for P4. The Ferrari is ahead of two McLarens. And now let's take a look if Musa is going to be struggling with these slicks or not. Well, that's pretty interesting, but looks like he's slower than Adam Hidayat, but here they come onto the dry part of the track, and now it starts to rain. It starts to rain literally, as previously we had just a slight rain, probably some drops, and that's why the track has become a bit wet, and it is going to be the wet part of the wet section of the track once again, and now Musa has nothing to do but to pit for intermediates the same way as Adam Hidayat, who has lost 2 positions from the start of the race. Well, that's interesting, that's really interesting. Blackwood makes it into the pits, as Berta Kestin is in the pits as well, but it was a double stack for Mercedes, so Berta is going to lose a lot of time. And as we see, the pit crew is changing the rear wing as well, so it is even more time lost. 32 seconds. Santiandro is still in the lead of the race, and probably we're going to see some wet tires today. Meanwhile, Livnin Pasalic into corner of death makes it up to P11. Look how slow the HRTs and Caterhams are. So they... Oh, how many fights do we have here? Vucicarmin makes it up to P5. The turn 1. Smeeter up into ahead of Han Nebusa. And... looks like Berta is going to be overtaken by Santino Andreoli just now. Well, that was an interesting start of the race with all these... what parts of the track with dry parts of the track with some collisions, and Berta is about to be overtaken on lap 3 or 4 already, and it depends on how fast Tina is compared to the Mercedes. Oh, look at this, we have the drivers on slicks on P9, P10 and P11. But looks like these tires are as fast as the intermediates, to be honest. Probably the track is not wet enough for the drivers on intermediates to have an advantage. But now looks like Littman is going for a move on Free Solar into turn number 15. Side by side they go, and oh, Free Solar runs wide. But no, he just pits, as well as other drivers on slicks like Adam Hidayat, Musa Karimov, and Fritz S. And Fritz himself. Rosetta Martinez is in the pits, and now everybody is going to be on the intermediate tire compound. Adam Hidayat had a pit stop of 6.9. Fritz Solar has 8.3. Rosetta Martinez is held up in the pits by the Williams, sorry, by Toro Rosso, of course. Okay. Hidayat 6.9, Karim 8.3, Holler 8.8, Martinez 7.2, and Tost 5.6. That's really good. But looks like Bagus is getting closer to Sant'Andreoli right now, as it is now lap number 4. Well, Aboj is struggling in the wet conditions as he's fighting his 2010 rival Max Mittler. And here goes Max Mittler on the Russian, side by side into turn 15. Oh, he has to be really careful there, but these two avoided the contact. That was really close, and it was feeling like Max Mittler is about to spin on the curb. Just look, he left the track for a moment. Not really. Yep, he was on the curb still. So it's not a corner cut or something, but just look at this battle. Meanwhile, Oscar overtakes Nicholas Johansson. Well, there is a huge gap between Horker and Hidayat. As yep, this is the gap between the driver who had no pit-stops and the driver who has pitted from slicks to intermediates. just half of the second between Andreoli and Bagus, but as we know there is no DRS during the wet conditions, so it's still going to be pretty difficult for Aditi to overtake, but as we see he's really fast, he's much faster than Santino, and we know that he can overtake, not right now, but probably into turn 1 there is going to be a move, so Aditi will make it back into the lead of the race. Three-tenths of a second. Still on second place as Miller is pushes under the attacks of Max Miller again, but Russian manages to defend quite well. Well, he's 3 seconds down on his teammate. Oskan is on P11 ahead of Nicholas Johnson. Looks like these two had a battle. And yep, another move done by Summit. And here comes Berta Kieslin. So probably he's going to decide who will be first and who will be second in these battles. You can see blue flags on the marshal's posts, and in the mirrors you can see the battle for the lead. And looks like this time Santino was 2 tenths faster than Bagus on this lap. And Smithers can for move on Abosh once again, and likely they don't collide, but Max Smithers has another chance to do that into turn 2, but he's still on P7. Now you can see how wet it is from the camera on the rear wing of Berta Kieslin. She's probably the most one of the most useless cameras this season, actually like this one, but at least this one can be used for some pit stops. Anyway, so we're going to use this one instead because, yep. Now Berta Kieslin can see the blue flags for the third lap in the row, or even for the fourth one. I did not count, but still, he's not overtaken by these two who are having a pretty good battle for the race lead. Oh, and we have a yellow flag. It is Abovic. It is Abovic spinning into turn 1 as Max Miller is up into 6th place. But look how close Erika Hanebusa is. What's happened there? Probably a collision. And that was not a collision, it's just a Bush making a mistake. Probably he braked too late, but as we see, there was no lockup. And he was speeding so slow that Max Miller could just wave his hand to the Russian. And it's the replay from the onboard of Erika Hanebo. So just look, looks like she has lost no. She had lost no time, but look how much she gained to the Welshman. She's about a second behind him. And now, Abush is going to be on P12 only, and he'll be fighting Andrew Paracelsus. Looks like Santiago Rally is trying to switch his racing line to find out if he's going to be faster this line than Aditya or not. Or he's just trying to get past Berta Kesslin with these quite useless moves, but now he's pretty close to the Mercedes at the main straight as the drivers start lap number 9. Santiago Rally gets past the Mercedes. What about Aditya Bagus? Is he going to overtake Berta as fast as Santina? Yes, he is. Two-tenths of a second. Really close between these two, and let's not forget about the strategies. Let's not forget about the strategies as the first mandatory pit stop, not counting the pit stops for for intermediates from slicks, are going to begin in about 5 laps, as the leaders are going to pit at the same time. From less than a second behind to 2 seconds. As, yep, we can see that the Force India is really slow compared to the Ferrari, even in the wet conditions. So now Benjamin Rushton is trying to do something, trying to overtake Litmin Pasalik in the battle for 8th, but he's still too far away from him to try to go for it. Six-tenths of a second. meticulously gets past Bert Gessen at the straight. Well, I think that the best decision for Bert Gessen is going to be just to retire the car. So he can so he can save the car for the Chinese Grand Prix, which is going to be held in Shanghai, as always. Because now Berthe is not even trying to do something with these drivers who are trying to retake the lapped car, number 7. As previously, Berthe was as fast as the leaders like Santina and Aditya, but now his pace is just nowhere compared to the leaders, as he was overtaken by 5 cars already, and Santina is defeated from Aditya once again. And coming to the final corner, Santina closes the door, so probably the overtake is going to happen into the first corner. We'll have to see. They're really close once again. And now, are they going to be side by side or not? No. Banji making a move on Lead Me Pasalic into turn 1 and 2. Side by side. And the British driver is going to be ahead. Oh, and there's another yellow flag of free solar, and Rosetta Martinez probably having a synchronized spin into turn 1. No, not synchronized. I'm going to give it 2 out of 6, sorry. That's bad. That's very bad. Yeah, let's take a look at it once again. So, how would you rate it? Yep, it's like, I don't know, 4 out of 10 probably for me. Come on, Aditya! And Santin Riley. Not going side by side this time, but oh! Almost, these two almost lost the car at the same time. That would be epic actually, but at the same time it would be a pain for these two drivers, but we're going to take a look at it again. Just how close it was, and then to turn number 15 they come, and now from the onboard of Santina Andreoli. And they come to turn number 7. Aditya Bagus, once again another chance, but Santiago is defending just fantastic. Into turn 9. Turn 10 and 11, and that's it for the middle sector. As all the fun begins as the driver are starting the final sector of this beautiful circuit. It's at Malaysia. Just look, Jake Teasley, the teammate of Bagus, as well as Daniel Fraser, are really close to the leaders. Now we're going to compare the lap times of these 4 drivers. I would say that all of them are fighting for this victory. 145.0, 145.3, 144.1 and 144.1. So the fastest lap among these 4 drivers is by Dane Fraser, the second fastest is Jake Teasley, and then we're going to have these 2 leaders on P3 and P4. And we have Nicholas Johnson in the pits. Yep, looks like it was a mandatory pit stop. No damage can be found on the car of the Swedish driver, so here we go. 7.4 for him, and now the 2 leaders are going to be pitting right now on this lap. This is going to be something fantastic. So he's going to come out on top after this pit stop. Virtually, of course, as Teasley and Fraser are staying out, so Red Bull will be leading the race, but not the one you would expect, as it is not going to be Bios, it's going to be Jake Teasley. Beating this lap as well, Vushi Karmin, Benji Rushton, and Miha. Jake Teasley takes the lead in the race, with Dane Fraser behind him. We're going to take a look at this battle first, but it looks like no move is going to happen, so back to these 2. Andrew ahead, Bagus behind. And this is going to be Santiago Andreoli ahead. Then Aditya Bagus and Vushi Karmin. Look at the gap. 5.9 seconds for Santina and 8.3 for Bagus. 2 seconds lost. 2 seconds wasted. Look at that. Now Abovic is trying to be ahead of his teammate Vushi Karmin after this unfortunate spin by the McLaren driver in the Kvyat helmet. Benji Rushton's in the pits as well, 6.3 seconds. And now, pitting this lap is going to be Daniel Fraser and Jacob Holker, with Rosetta Martinez and Miha, who's pitting right now. .7, and it is a yellow flag for Jafari Blackwood. Oh, and we can see the fire at the back. It is the engine failure for Mercedes once again. Same Fraser is now going to pit, and Jake Disley is staying in the race lead. And 7.6. And Daniel's going to be behind Aditya and probably behind Fujikarmin as well, but no, he's going to be ahead. Oh, look at this car, probably Buggers will be fighting Fraser, and JTS is going to be on second place. Well, make your predictions in the chat. Oh! And that's a mistake on the pit entry for Jacob Horlicker with Rosetta Martinez behind. And the K-Term is going to lose a lot of time behind this HRT. Oh god, it may be a drama for Jake Teasley. But let's take a look how slowly this HRT is driving on the pit lane. Here comes Jake Teasley. Rosetta Martinez. He's trying to overtake the HRT, but as a result, these two are just blocking the road completely. Here comes Jay Teasley, and I think it can be counted as the jinx. Meanwhile, Rosetta Martinez is now in the pits, but what about Jake? He's slowing down a lot, and no! It is not going to be a second place for him, no. And he stops the car completely to continue the race. As Max Mietler does the same, absolutely the same as Erika Hanebus as well. That's a bra moment. Okay, Hanebus is in the pits. But come on, Jacob, stop the car already. It's going to be 7.2 for Teasley and 5.6 for Smeetler, but that means nothing. These are not going to be fighting for the win, as Paracelsus is right behind the Red Bull. And Hidayat having a fight with Benji Rushton, who goes down the inside, and yep, he's up to 10. Erika Hanebasa, 52 seconds spent on the pit lane. And now Litmin Pasalic is leading the race in Melbourne. He was on P2 for a while, but now he's on P1. But what's happened to the HRT in the pit lane actually? Yep, that's it. But actually I would like to see what's happened to Jacob once again, because we forgot about the replay existence. And where is he? And was it a mistake or was it something else? Oh, we forgot to mention that there was a collision between Paracelsus and Horlicker, actually taking place into the final corner. Oh, this one is a nice spin. I would say 7 out of 10. Then he stops for a while, continues, and forgets how to brake. Meanwhile, Litmin Pasalic is going to be in the pits, so Probably he can fight for some high positions as these two drivers like Tilsley and Smeetler lost a lot of time as Berta Kessin beats again. And no, he's stuck in the pits because of Litmin Pasalic. The German driver is not going to be in top 5 as I was mistaken by saying that he can fight for some high positions. Sorry, but he pits for slicks! He pits for slicks. What the hell? And looks like Berta Kessin pits for slicks as well as Jake Tilsley. Sorry, but I cannot describe it. Smeetler on the slicks, Hanevos on the slicks. Looks like the pit crew of every single team was watching the pit lane entry and this incident with Jacob. But they forgot about their pit stops. As we have another yellow flag with Rosetta Martinez losing the rear wing. Wow, that's interesting as it was a collision between him and Wushi Carmen. Oh lord! What was that? And as we can see, oh! What are you doing, mate? And that was a collision to turn number 10. Yeah. So Rigam Sabovic to get the position from his teammate. And Sabovic is going to be on 4th. With Oskan P5 and Tilsley P6. Well, Rosetta continues the race, but without the rear win. It's going to be a pain for him to get back to the pits as he has to get out of the way for Musakarima who makes the move around the outside. Mushkarman is in the pits. Let's see how good is again, how high is he going to be in the race results today after this collision. But he's now outside the top 10. 11 seconds pit stop. And now we have Rosette Martinez and Fernando Tost beating. Yep, looks like no damage, just a mandatory pit stop for the only HRT in this race. Fritz is in the pit as well, as Rosette Martinez has... Oof. Of course they have to repair his rear wing, so 7.3 for Tost, 13.2 for Martinez and 7.9 for Holler. Any more pit stops? No? No. Meanwhile, Johansson is having a battle with Lipin Pasalic for P10. Now let's mention that one of these drivers is on the slicks and another one is on the intermediates, on the heavy rain, on the wet track, in stormy conditions. Who's going to be ahead? Of course, the driver on slicks. Ha ha ha. But here comes Nicholas Johansson on the Force India. and side by side, Nicholas is ahead. Come on, where are the battles? Want to see some battles? But looks like Bacchus is getting closer to Santino really meanwhile. That's getting interesting. Very, very interesting. But actually, taking a look at the Malaysian Grand Prix of 2011, it was quite an interesting one. Not about the racing on, not about the results only, but about the racing of the drivers. Well, Aditya Bagus won then, with Hannah was second. Erika, of course, is really good in Malaysia, but today she is only P13 because of this pit lane accident. On P3 we had Jafari Blackwood, who is racing for Mercedes this season, and who has retired with them with an engine failure. On P4 it was Rosetta Martinez, and on P5 it was Emil Nielsen. On P6 Colin Chapman, so it was P5, P6 for HRT, and then it was Adam Hidayat on Lotus, and Abovic on P8 with Darbs Daniel P9 and Santina Andreoli finishing the race on 10th. Actually he finished the 11th, but as the result of Samit Oskan getting a penalty, he has made it up into 10th place. And yeah, probably this race had the biggest amount of penalties ever given in the FRC history, and I'm going to list you all of them. 10 seconds penalty for Daniel, causing a collision with Smither on lap 1, then 5 places grid penalty for Teasley for causing a collision with Oven on lap 1, and 5 places grid penalty for Oven for causing a collision with Abush on lap 1. Yep, that's pretty interesting one. And then 10 seconds penalty for Andreoli for causing a collision with Messi on lap 2, 5 places grid penalty for Kiesten for causing a collision with Gabriel on lap 11, 5 seconds penalty for Abush for causing a collision with Hidayat on lap 22, 10 seconds penalty for for Bagus for causing a collision with Fraser on lap 23, 10 seconds penalty for Samit Oskan for causing a collision with Daniel on lap 35, 10 seconds time penalty for Abovic. Meanwhile, Paracelsus is up to P6, 75 with Rushton. But let's take a look at the replay first. That was an interesting one, but meanwhile, Caterham is going into the pits, and there was a collision actually. Just look how aggressive Betcher was going for this overtake. But anyways, let's continue. 10 seconds for Bagus for causing a collision with Fraser on lap 23, then 10 seconds for Oscar for causing a collision with Daniel on lap 35, 10 seconds for Aboish, another penalty for him for causing a collision with Toss on lap 38, and 10 seconds time penalty for Oscar for causing a collision with car number 11, Alexander Arnold on lap 39. So, as as the result, there were 10 penalties, 7 time penalties and 3 grid penalties. And looks like the rain has got a lighter, and here comes Andrew Parcells to have another pit stop as Max Mitter moves up into 9th, Johansson up into 8th, and Pasalic up into 10th. Okay, Parcells is down to P15 after this pit stop, and the gap between Andreoli and Bagus is 1 second already. And yep, we have such an interesting achievement on our YouTube channel as we've hit a target of 100 videos. This video you are watching the moment is the 101st. So yep, that's another interesting achievement for us. As well as now our YouTube channel has 2,700 views. That's awesome as well. So once again, thank you for the support, and we'll try to give you more content of the AA racing. And meanwhile, the rain has completely stopped. So probably the drivers on slicks were right, but no, I jinxed it again as it is raining. Meanwhile, Semitos competes, and he pits for the slicks, I think, because Parcells was pitching for slicks as well. But it is still too late. It is still too late for the drivers to pit for the slicks. Seven 7.3 seconds is a pit stop by the Sauer pit crew, and Abush is up to 10th now. But the most interesting part is that he is going alone. Yep, he's going to finish the race on this tire compound and with this amount of fuel, like other drivers. So let's see, the Russian's still capable to fight for the race win. And yeah, this was a really good strategy by the McLaren strategists. But yep, looking at the gap between Abush and between Andrel and Abush is 39 seconds. So probably Abush can fight for something like P4, but I'm still not sure. And we'll have to see about that, as it is only lap 25 out of 42. And as you can see, the rain has stopped once again, and probably this time I'm not going to jinx it. And I think we need to have something like a jinx counter. Anyways, enough jokes, as Adam hit at pits. And he pits for slicks as well. And onto the wet track he comes. Musa Karimov is in the pits. .8. Meanwhile, Miha is going for a move on Fernando Tost round the inside, and looks like intermediates are still the best choice. Wait, with the rain again or not? Anyways, the battle continues, but no! Fernando decides to break a bit earlier than his rival from Toro Rosso, and as a result, he is down to P17 as he has lost this battle. But now the gap between top 3 is about 1.6 seconds. Actually 1.4, but still really close as we have a 3-way battle for the race win. And this is interesting as Bagus has 7 liters of fuel, Fraser has 8 liters of fuel, and Santina has 9 liters of fuel, so they're not going to be beaten at the exact same time. Meanwhile, what about the pit stops now? No pit stops. But we have a yellow flag for Berta Kessler once again as Bencher Rushton is on P5. The Williams is on P5. Oh, did I say that about the yellow flag for Bertha? Sorry, my bad. It's the blue flag, of course. And here comes Aditya because once again the battle continues. Last time Aditya was trying to overtake Santina on lap 8 or something, I don't remember, but here comes the Indonesian to take the lead in the race as Santina moves down to second and Fraser is in the battle as well. But Aditya is going to be pitting first, so let's see if he's going to have an undercut and increase his race lead or not. But meanwhile, Santina is defended from Daniel Fraser as well, as Santina Andreoli has lost the race lead for the first time since the race start. But now we have a dry line there. As the rain has stopped as well, so the right choice now is Slicks. Technically is going to be pitted now with Erika Hanebuse, who's on P11, and Yabo, with Miha. .76 seconds. Bagus beats and Santina beats. Everybody beats. Absolutely everybody beats. That was really unexpected. So who's going to be at front as Santina? He's ahead of Daniel and Aditya. So probably Aditya Bagus is going to be in the lead again. And Dane Fraser second and Santina only third. Sorry, Santina, but looks like the race win is not going to be yours today. Oh, and Jake Teasley is stuck in the pits. Jake Teasley is stuck in the pits. It was meant for him to be beaten first, but no. That's a heartbreak. That's a heartbreak for Jake. Come on. I feel so bad for him. Like seriously. It was meant to be his pizza, but come on. Meanwhile, Parcells is on P11. So Bagus first, Race is second, and Drill is third. Karimov gets past Eric Hanebs, but probably it's because of the pit stop if I'm not mistaken. Not so sure about that, but I think it was because of the pit stop. Was it? Yes, it was. So, how many drivers are on the intermediates at the moment? Just none. Everybody is on slicks. This is the interesting choice by the team's strategists. And Brother Kesselin is trying to unlock himself from Dane Fraser. They go side by side and luckily they don't collide. As the Mercedes driver actually helps Santina to get his P2 back from the Ferrari. And Bushikarmin says the first lap 140.525. So absolutely every driver is improving because of these new slick tires. So the past lap at the moment is for Adam Hidayat. Then Bushikarman and his yellow flag Andrew J. Paracelsus, Nicholas Johansson, and the Red Bull of Jay Teasley are coming together into turn 1, and oh, that was a dive bomb. That certainly was a dive bomb. Here we can see nothing but just a wheel flying, and now the onboard of Andrew Paracelsus. Oh lord, he oh he flipped the car. He flipped his caterham. Oh, that was a big one.
Watch out for debris.
Oh, how much debris is there? Jake Ridley has to pit, Nicholas Johnson has to pit, and Andrew Paracelsus retires. No, looks like Berta cannot overtake Daniel. Meanwhile, we still have yellow flags into the first corner. Meanwhile, Smeater pits. And Berta Kirsten pits as well. Probably there was a collision. Or not. Wait, what? Wait. Oh no, it was a mandatory pit stop, sorry, my bad. 6.0 for Kieslin. 6.5 for Smitler, and for Pasalic it is going to be 6.3. Meanwhile, Nicholas Johansson and JTC are in the pits after this collision, so they're out of the battle for the points. And it is raining again, ladies and gentlemen. It is raining. What is wrong with the weather today? And let's see if the drivers are going to be pitting for intermediates or not. Saboshi is already up into 4th. This fantastic strategy by McLaren's, by the McLaren team. Fast lap by Bagus. Fraser is faster, but what about Santina? Is he going to get it now? He is on 3rd in the battle for the fastest lap. Benji Rushton has the 5th fastest lap actually, 140.220. But now he's down to 6th as Wuchi Karmin is P6 and Hiri at P5, Benji up on the 4th again. This battle for the fastest lap is even more interesting than the race itself. Looks like Armin is going to pit. Oh, that's collision between Oskan and Armin. And it is Adam Hidayat up into 5th place. Russian P6, and these two had a really good race, but no, please don't crash into him. Please don't. I asked you, why did you do that? These have some nice relationships between the drivers. Like, seriously. Let's take a look at the replay. Simon is trying to overtake Vucic. What happens there? This is some stupid driving for Vucic Carmen, just literally. So, both of them spin, and of course, they're going to blame each other for this one. So, here comes Samet Oskan to get karma for Vucic Carmen. But Vucic crashes into his rear wing instead. Like, seriously, it is a 21, yeah, no, I think 20 years old game, and the AI is just brilliant. It's like 2 dentictums. Okay, Fernando Toss is going to beat as well because of not having that much fuel. Fritz Holler beats as well. Sametos can't beat because of the damage. So while there are pit stops happening, you can join our Discord server. The link is in the description as always. And there you can commentate the race. Just if you want to, you can DM the admin. Meanwhile, Nicholas Johansson says the fastest lap, but Jake Teasley is faster. What I was talking about is that, yep, you can commentate there. You can DM our the admin, and you can be interviewed as well after the race. As the race is over, you can join the interviews voice chat to get interviewed by me or any other commentator who is going to be in the who's going to be commentating. Hidet is up until 9th in the battle for the fastest lap, but now he's down to P11. So Kieslin, Rushton and Smitler. Who's on 4th, Pasalk 8th, Karimov. From P13 he's going to be still 13th, Rebus is still 12th without any improvement, and just 10 races to go until then. Bruh, 10 laps to go until the end of the race. It looks like the rain gets heavy once again. This is just the rain wall in the 3rd sector, but in sector 1 it is more like a light rain. And yep, if you really want to know why the race now stream in the Discord server on the race streams voice chat, because I think I was talking about it already. It's because of the Discord call literally making the stream laggy as hell. As a result, we had a slideshow like in Australia during the race. And yep, to not to have this happening once again, for now we have just one commentator, so yep, if you want to be commentating you can DM us to get the commentator role. And now the racing line, which was completely dry, is now full wet, as the rain hits hard once again. With just 8 laps to go. And everybody is on slicks. So the question is, are there going to be pit stops for intermediates or for wets? I don't think that's going to be any pit stops at the end of this race, but yeah, probably this may happen. And as we see, everybody in top 5, except Abo, which had 2 pit stops. And yep, in top 10, Aboshi is the only one with one pit stop as well. I think, yep, everybody in the race except Aboshi and the drivers with 3 pit stops had just one piece of strategy. But Rosetta Martinez had 4 pit stops. That's a lot, and probably that's why he's running last on P19. So now we have 16 drivers left in this race. And looks like there are going to be even more of drivers joining the club drivers. But meanwhile, Armin's going for a move on Miha. Turn number 15, that was a clear maneuver by the Montenegrin driver who has got his first win in Melbourne, but yep, looks like Miha is not happy with his current position, so he's going for P13 again down the inside, and yep, he gets the position back. Now the drivers are 8 seconds slower than their personal bests. They were set in the dry conditions with the dry liners who have yellow flag as Miha. Oh! Bagus has no damage luckily for him, but unluckily for the drivers trying to chase him for this race win. And that's how bad these conditions are, that the drivers are making mistakes. And that was the battle between Miha and Armin again. Oof. And then, right to them, comes Fritz Holler, colliding with his teammate. He forgets to slow down and just slams to another Torosso, which number is 16, and yep, that's the onboard from Aditya's car.
Watch out for debris.
Looks like Miha has to pit after this. Oh! Daniel Fraser collides with Fritz Holler! Daniel Fraser collides with Fritz Holler! No! What is happening on these final laps of the race? Oh dear. He slams into him once again. Look how angry he is. As he just misses out the potential podium. It was 90% going to be his podium. I'm not even talking about P2. Okay, this would be P2 for him, but no, it's going to be down to P4, even to P5. Because of this collision. Yeah, but Malaysian Grand Prix is always controversial. You've seen last race, probably there are going to be a lot of penalties today as well, but yep, I'm just too lazy to do all the jobs, so probably nothing's going to happen. Well, probably Holler is going to be penalized, like seriously. The driver's fighting for the podium, but he just ruins it. It was not even a battle for between drivers for the position. It was not a battle between drivers outside the top 10. It was just this guy just brake checking, and Miha has to wait. Miha has to wait for his teammate. And in P3 we have Aboge with such a nice comeback. Bagus P1, Andrello P2, and Aboge P3. Meanwhile, 5 laps to go in such a long and interesting race. And actually, I cannot say that the rain made the race interesting for like 90% or 100% because oh, JT almost loses the car there. So I was about to prove my opinion, but no. Okay. Because Bagus, Smitler, and Santino Andreoli were really close to each other for almost the whole race. And Santino was defending from Aditya for like 15 laps before the pit stop where Red Bull pit crew was acting really slow. And that's cost Aditya a lot of time, 2.5 seconds. But then Aditya just fought back, and with 4 laps remaining, he is leading the race. Now we have Benjamin Russell P5. That's a fantastic comeback for him, as he started on P15 and now as he gains 10 positions in this race he's on P5. Also, he's overtaken by Max Smither. I'm not sure if I can count it as a jinx or not, but jinxed. He's trying to get the position back actually, so I think it's going to be P5 for him again. Or not, not. Okay, that's him being jinxed. For positions gained for Pasalik and Karimov, and 3 positions gained for Hiret and Smitler, with Aboge gaining 1 position. Okay, DJ Bagos starts number 40 or 42 with an HRT ahead of him, but is he going to take the lapped car successfully or not? Because that's the main question. It's really dangerous to drive in such conditions. I'm not even talking about the overtaking on the slicks. Oh, looks like HRT is going to be ahead. 3 laps to go, and probably the drama can happen for Aditya, but of course I don't want to jinx him, I'm just commentating. Oh, yellow flag! Nicholas Johansson and Jake Teasley. Another spin for the Red Bull driver. And this is in the same corner. Come on. But he gets P11 like that. Like this at least. So, yep. Stonks. Meanwhile, Bios is chasing the HRT. Is there going to be an overtaker or not? Because it's really difficult. It's very dangerous to overtake the lapped car into turn 9 and 10. Looks like Aditya Bios around the outside makes the move on the HRT and now he's safe. Thanks carrying his way to the Martins, but there are like 5 seconds between them. I'm not sure that Bugs will be faster than Rosetta in these final 2 laps by 5 seconds. Most likely that's not going to happen, but the intrigue is still alive because we have aquaplaning, the changing conditions, and yep, just look at this rain. Two laps to go. And the only battle we have is the battle for P9 between Hanabas and Karimov. Just look at the intervals. Looks like there is a battle of P6 again between Rushton and Fraser. And now, here comes Aditya Bagus, who's made a really difficult job to make it into P1 in this race as he starts lap number 42 of 42. This is the final lap of this exciting, rainy, really controversial and wet Malaysian Grand Prix. Meanwhile, Fraser is trying to steal Bench's P6. His P5 was already stolen by Daniel's teammate, who is Max Spiedler. And who is going to win this battle is going to be the Williams or is going to be the Ferrari. My money is on Williams. And actually Holler's trying to overtake Litmin Pasalic, but unsuccessfully. And yes, this race is going to be won by this driver. Driver number 1 on his car, on his helmet, and in this race as well. So congratulations to Aditya Bagus as he is going to complete just one more corner with the yellow flag of Daniel Fraser. Oh, what a huge impact to the car.
Watch out for debris.
And it's Bertie Kiesley and Daniel Fraser. Come on! What's happened there this time? As Benji was defending from Daniel, who was actually on intermediates. And Bertie just forgets how to brake. Okay, never mind. Here comes a DJ Buggers to win the Malaysian Grand Prix. 1 hour, 13 minutes, 30 seconds and 352 thousandths of a second. Fernando Tost, P13, 7,000 P14, it is a podium for Renault, for Lotus Renault, for the first time since 2010 I think. Congratulations, it is P2 for Santino Andreoli. Abovic comes third after a brilliant strategy by McLaren. Adam Hidet P4 really close to the podium but still a fantastic race. On P5 it's Max Miller and P6 Benji Rushton and Williams. Congratulations to the car number 18 still yellow flags. On P16 is Frey Solar, P7 Litwin Pasalic and P8 Musa Karimov double points for Williams with Erika Hanebus on P9 and Take TLC on P10. After a lot of collisions, after a lot of spins, after a lot of drama, he is going to be finishing in the points. Fraser got really unlucky on the final lap as he was trying to get his P6, but as the result he spins around and Bertie Gessin crashes into him. As the race is finished under the yellow flag, we're getting ready to listen to the national anthems of Indonesia and Austria. And this is the race over. And now let's take a look at the race results. Once again, Aditya Bagus wins the race, Santino Andreoli is second, Abovic third, then we have Hidet, Mittler, Rushton, Pasalic, Karimov, Hanebusa, Tilsley, Johansson, Fraser, Tost, Oskan, Armin, Holler, Miha, Martinez are the ones who finished the race. Berta Kesslin could not finish the race, but still he was classified with Paracelsus P20, Holker P21 and Jeffrey Blackwood P22. These are the drivers who retired. St. Fraser is actually classified on P12, so congratulations. And now about the fastest laps. The fastest lap point goes to Jake Teasley, who managed to finish on P10, and as a result is at 1 point he gets 2. And now if anybody wants to get interviewed, you can join the interviews voice chat. And here we have Benji Rushton finished the race on such a high position as P6. Say hello.
Hello.
So you were starting from P15 and he managed to finish on P6. How could you achieve such a high finish?
Well, it's just really a good strategy, really. Having the P5 snatched by Max Miller was really devastating for our team, but we got P6 in the end. At least it's good. At least it's good points. Yeah, especially starting from P15, big improvement for the team. So yeah, I'm happy. At least it's good points.
And you also had some nice battles with Ferraris of Max Miller and Daniel Fraser at the finish of the race. How difficult it was to defend from them?
Yeah, really. just trying to defend from Max Smitlow was really, we couldn't do it. But I think we should have we could have a really good battle in the next race, and but the battle with Daniel Fraser was just I knew I was gonna win it, so I just pushed, and then at the end he just tried to crash into me, which I think the stewards should look at.
Yep, and Williams showed some really nice speed in such wet conditions, as your teammate finished 8th as well. So congratulations with such a great result.
Thank you.
So now that's it, and we're going to listen to the national anthems. Bruh, seriously, I thought that the advertisements were blocked in Russia. And instead of the Indonesian anthem, we're about to hear the Raid Shadow Legends advertisement. Sorry for that. And that's it for the race today. Once again, thank you for watching. yeah, that was something brilliant, and I would say that our driver of the day is Benji Rushton because he made a fantastic comeback. Such a difficult race with changing conditions, with a lot of aquaplaning, and he managed to finish on P6 after starting from P15. And also congratulations to Santi Andreoli with a podium for his new team. And that's it. Once again, thank you for watching, and see you next time in Shanghai, China. I wish you a good afternoon, a good evening, or a good night, and goodbye.